You are listening to the It's Your Time podcast, and I'm your host, Certified Life Coach Michelle Arnold Burke. In today's episode, I'm discussing breaking free from complacency and reigniting your drive.
Welcome to the It's Your Time podcast, the podcast where busy professionals like you get the practical solutions and support you need to gain control of your schedule so you can strive to be the best in your career, but without the stress and overwhelm. If you're looking to increase your energy and decrease your stress, you are in the right place.
Hello. Welcome back to the podcast, friends. Okay, before we dive into today's episode, I want to remind you that I have an amazing new opportunity for you, and it's called the It's Your Time Empowerment Hub. It's a place where you can join other busy professional women who want to grow and develop and evolve and network. You are going to have an opportunity to learn new tools and strategies that will change your life, that will have you feeling better, that will help you to incorporate your work and life in a way that works for you. And it's going to be a place truly where you can make the changes that you most desire in a way that works for you. So it's your time today to start making those changes. It's your time today to decide how you want to use it. And knowing that it's your time to decide all of it is really where you step into your most empowered self. So if you are not already on my email list, go to michelleburkecoaching.com/wait. Again, michelleburkecoaching.com/wait. And there you will get on the list. You will receive the information on how to become a founding member in the program. And it is going to be so much fun. Okay, with that, let's dive into today's topic, breaking free from complacency, which is a great topic to explore after we were just talking about the new Empowerment Hub, especially if you might have been thinking, oh, I don't know about that. I don't think I have the time right now. I don't think I'm really ready. If that was you, listen up, right? I was actually listening to a podcast with Molly Fletcher. It's called Game Changers. I highly recommend it. And she was talking about how complacency is the invisible weed that can take over your life. And I just love that statement. It's so spot on, because we might not always call it complacency, right? We might say, oh, I feel stuck, or, oh, I just don't have the time right now. But the problem with complacency is that it can lead to stagnation and missed opportunities, especially in personal and professional growth. And you know, we are all about both personal and professional growth here on this podcast. And it's interesting because if you look up the definition of complacency, actually, who the heck looks up definitions these days, right? Mark and I were just talking about this. Like, who has a dictionary or an encyclopedia? We just go to like Ask AI, I think. But if we look it up, what you will find is something along the lines of being satisfied, being content. Now, I don't want you to get that confused with feeling fulfilled. There is a difference. Complacency is more along the lines of not looking to evolve or to change. So maybe you had goals and dreams that you were pursuing, and then you just slipped into the, well, it's just easier to do it this way. But you might still have the nagging thought that you want more out of life. Remember, our brain is designed to keep us safe and keep things easy and efficient. The work we do here is deciding that we do want more, and we start taking actions towards that. And I will tell you, when I first started coaching, it was because I did have that thought, there has to be more to life than this. And for most accounts, I would say I have a pretty good life, right? I have a great job, a great relationship, family, all of the things that you're quote unquote supposed to have, but there's still that feeling. And what is so interesting is that sometimes when we do feel grateful for what we have and we think we want more, then we start to shame ourselves for wanting to have more. But it is okay. It is normal human desire to want to evolve. And the interesting thing is, I didn't realize this until I started researching this a little bit more. There's such a thing as fringe complacency, and that is more subtle. So it might not be immediately obvious, but it still affects performance and growth. And it often manifests in smaller, maybe less critical areas of your work or just personal life where you might overlook warning signs and start taking shortcuts. Oh, I'll do it at a later time kind of thinking. While it might not be quite as blatant as full blown complacency, right? It can gradually undermine your progress. And listen, I talk about the compound effect here when we want to make small changes over time for our growth and development, but it is the same idea. The small changes, but with the opposite result. So you want to be on the watch out for this because those small changes can add up to lasting change, and you want to be intentional within what direction you are moving that change, right? It's important to start noticing the pitfalls of being complacent. And so we want to take a look at where we are becoming complacent. And the reason it's important is because really the awareness allows you to start deciding what you want to do next. It allows you the chance to step into your fullest power and really doing more of what you want in life. So I would say, I think one of the number one pitfalls in complacency is really lack of growth, right? It often halts self improvement and skill development, which means you miss out on the evolution that we're talking about. And I do believe that at the heart of all we do, I believe, especially if you're listening here on this podcast, that you want to evolve. Now, the next pitfall I see is, again, in the lines of missed opportunities, because when we are being complacent, we might fail to recognize or maybe more importantly, act on the new opportunities. And that can be around career advancement. Maybe it's around relationships. Just notice that complacency might be happening in one specific area of your life, but we also know that how we do one thing is how we do most things. So if there is a thread of not feeling truly fulfilled in your personal life, maybe it's an opportunity to look at all areas of your life. And I think it's almost like a spiral that we get in, right? We start to feel a lack of personal fulfillment. And then that tends to lead to what I believe is another pitfall: decreased motivation. Because when you're too comfortable, your drive to set and pursue the new goals diminishes. And you just need to feel willing. And if you're complacent, you are not necessarily feeling like you want to do much, right? Because you're just comfortable and you're just feeling a little bit stagnant. But again, stagnant is something that we want to look at and really get clear on where are we feeling stagnant and where do we want to make the changes. Because again, in line with how we do one thing is how we do most things, it's often an opportunity for us, when we get specific, to start developing the skill in a specific example and then take that skill as like a meta skill into other areas of our life. And avoiding complacency requires that ongoing self-awareness, the setting new challenges, and really being willing to stay adaptable. And I'm also reading, I just love Molly Fletcher, her most recent book, Dynamic Drive, and she talks about complacency. I love this. She says, don't wait to be fired. Don't wait to have a heart attack. Don't wait for life to hit you over the head. Change now. Change because you know you can do better, be better. Want more out of life? Change before you have to. And friends, I will remind you, that is where the Empowerment Hub might help you out. It's going to be a place where you will for sure see increases in your self-awareness. You will be able to set challenges for yourself, and you will continue to adapt in a way that allows you to increase the fulfillment that you feel in both your personal and professional life. So be sure to get on the wait list, michelleburkecoaching.com/wait. Remember, complacency is optional. Start paying attention to where you might be feeling stuck, where you might feel like you want a little bit more in life, and just get curious. You can even just start by journaling what is going on in your life. Why do you think you're feeling stagnant? Why do you think you're feeling complacent? And then decide, what changes do I need to make in order to move to the next level? That is where you step into your power, not feeling like you are the victim to everything else in your life. Okay, that's what I have for you today. Let's touch base next week, but for now, make it a great day. Take care.
Did you know you can take this work to a deeper level with me one-on-one? Go to michelleburkecoaching.com and click on Get Started to begin.